On August 5th, 2024, a big change happened in Bangladesh. Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, who had led the country for 15 years, was suddenly removed from power. It all started with the students' protest over civil service job quotas, which suddenly turned into a nationwide movement against the government. Sadly, the clashes with the police led to at least 280 deaths. The seismic shift in Bangladesh is not an isolated incident. It echoes a pattern of political turbulence that has swept across the region surrounding India in the recent years. In today's video, we'll be discussing how those developments have impacted India and its economy, explore the measures that India has taken in response, and discuss the potential strategies moving forward. On August 5, 2024, Bangladesh witnessed a dramatic change as Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina was forced out of office. This turning point came after months of escalating protests and riots, rooted in deeper political and social tensions that had been brewing for years. The unrest began in late 2022 when Islamist Bangladesh National Party started organizing demonstrations against the Awaami party led by Sheikh Hasina. Those protests were merged with the protest against a 30% reservation quota that allowed government jobs to families of veterans who had fought in the 1971 war against Pakistan, which led to Bangladesh's independence. The protesters argued that this quota unfairly limited opportunities for others, especially the younger generation, and its demanded reduction. The situation intensified on June 6, 2024, when a major uprising erupted, shaking the country. The Supreme Court of Bangladesh intervened on July 21, 2024, siding with the protesters and ruling to reduce the quota to about 5%. This decision was intended to calm the unrest by ensuring that 93% of the jobs would be based on merit. However, the protests continued to gain momentum. The underlying tensions were more complex than just the quota issue. Since the beginning of the 2024, the BNP, led by Khalida Zia, had been running a strong anti-India campaign. This included to calls boycotting Indian goods during the Ramadan in April, reflecting a growing sentiment of nationalism and resentment towards India. The BNP's allied Jamaat-e-Islami, a party with a controversial history, played a key role in the events of 2024. Jamaat had been banned from the national elections of Bangladesh in 2013 due to its ties with various groups targeting minorities during the 1971 war. This ban was initially imposed by Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, the founding father of Bangladesh and Sheikh Hasina's father. After his assassination, the ban was lifted and Jamaat was rebranded with a more hardline agenda. In 1990s, the Jamaat had formed an alliance with the BNP, and their student wing, Islami Chhatra Shibir, became notorious for their violent activities on university campuses. During the Quota movement, they played a significant role in fueling the violence and unrest. Despite the Supreme Court's intervention, the protests did not subside. The situation escalated further, leading to the storming of Sheikh Hasina's residence in Dhaka by thousands of protesters. Her house was ransacked, looted, and even her clothes were stolen, a powerful symbol of the nation's deep-seated anger. Within just few days of her ouster, Dr. Muhammad Yunus, the 84-year-old Nobel laureate, was appointed as the head of the caretaker government. However, his sudden rise to power was met with suspicion. Many viewed him as the puppet of foreign powers, particularly the United States, and his past allegation of embezzlement cast a shadow over his leadership. Now let's understand the chronology. In recent years, the South Asian region around India has been experiencing a series of unsettling events, like a chain reaction of falling dominoes. The ouster of Awaami League leader in Bangladesh is just one of the series of disruptions that have rocked the region, each affecting India in various ways. The trouble began in February 2021 when Myanmar's military seized power from the democratically elected government of Aung San Suu Kyi. This coup led to widespread protest and a violent crackdown, plunging the country into a humanitarian crisis. For India, Myanmar's instability is alarming due to the shared border. It raises concern about the increased insurgency and the possibility of a large influx of refugees into India. Additionally, this turmoil complicates India's Act East policy, which aims to strengthen ties with the Southeast Asia region through better connectivity and cooperation. In August 2021, Afghanistan underwent a dramatic change when the Taliban rapidly took over, reshaping the region's power dynamics. The Afghan government's collapse raised fear about the resurgence of terrorist activities, human rights abuses, and the spread of extremism. India faced numerous concerns from the safety of its investments in Afghanistan to security's implications of having a Taliban led state nearby. This situation poses a direct threat to India's national security as extremist groups could gain strength in the region, potentially leading to cross border terrorism. In 2022, Sri Lanka faced a severe economic crisis with shortages of essential goods, fuel, and foreign currency reserves. This crisis led to widespread protests and political instability. India, with its close geographical and cultural ties to Sri Lanka, found the situation significant. The economic turmoil and potential for a humanitarian crisis could result in a wave of refugees heading towards India. In response, India's provided financial aid and essential supplies to support Sri Lanka during these difficult times. Similarly, Pakistan witnessed widespread protests following the ousting of popular Prime Minister Imran Khan in a military coup in 2022. With such falling out of nations in the regions, there have been claims of Western powers, often referred to as the deep state, attempting to incite unrest against non aligned popular leaders in the region. The deep state is believed to be a network of influential elites, including intelligence, military leadership, and bureaucrats, allegedly working behind the scenes to manipulate political events. They view the growing relationship in the region as troubling, particularly as they aim to counter China's influence in the South Asia. The Hasina government in Bangladesh previously turned down a US offer to include Bangladesh within the Quad, a strategic group aimed with the membership of the United States, India, Japan, and Australia, designed to counter China's rise in the region. With the resignation of Sheikh Hasina as Prime Minister of Bangladesh, Muhammad Yunus became the chief advisor to the interim government, a move seen by some as allied with US interests. In recent years, India has faced a series of challenges that appear to be attempts to destabilize the nation. However, under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the country has managed to navigate these threats with strategic restraint and effective governance. Prime Minister Modi is one of the few global leaders who has survived both regime change attempts and potential assassination threats. One such attempt was the 2013 Patna bombing during his campaign for the 2014 general elections. Additionally, the Bhima Koregaon violence in Maharashtra revealed an extensive plot to assassinate him, which was thwarted when the instigators were arrested. The Bharatiya Janata Party government has shown pragmatism and restraint in dealing with the potential uprisings across the nation. A notable example is the aftermath of farm bills passed by the government on June 5, 2020. A misinformation campaign by the opposition led protest by farmers, particularly from Punjab, Haryana, Rajasthan, and Western Uttar Pradesh, who believed the policies were discriminatory. This protest gained international recognition and support from foreign governments and celebrities. Despite provocations such as the storming of Red Fort and hosting of Khalsa flag, the Indian government exercised restraint and refrained from using force. Ultimately, the farm laws were repealed on June 1, 2021, leading to a dissipation of protest. Similarly, the government's response to the anti-CA protests and ethnic cleanses in Manipur have been criticized by some supporters for being too complacent. However, the government's deliberate and tempered handling of these sensitive issues prevented serious escalations. Any use of such force could have resulted in severe consequences. The government's adept handling of law and order in Jammu and Kashmir after the abrogation of Article 370 demonstrated its ability to manage challenges despite attempts by several countries to destabilize India. The introduction of the 2019 Citizenship Amendment Act also caused unrest, with protests erupting across northeast India. Misinformation campaigns led to riots, but the government chose to tire out the protesters rather than escalate the situation with force. Now, with Hindus getting ethnically cleansed from Bangladesh, the citizens of India are now hailing the CA for serving as a beacon of hope for Hindus in Bangladesh. Now, after Bangladesh regime change, the US firm Hindenburg had now leveled allegations against Adani Group in last year, has now linked SEBI chairperson Madhavi Puri Buch and her husband Buch to this incident. On January 24, 2023, Hindenburg Research published a scathing report accusing the Adani Group of financial misconduct and stock manipulations. This report triggered a sharp decline in the stock prices of Adani Group companies, with some plummeting by as much as 83%. This is not an isolated incident. This is in line with the deep state trying to destabilize the region and last bastion, India. Attacking wealth creators means economic destabilization. The South and North Bengal border, the longest border shared by any Indian state, is marked by barbed wire fences across open fields. In other areas, water bodies naturally separate the two countries. These regions often face issues like smuggling of cattle, gold, drugs, medicine, fish, and eggs. To address this concern, the Indian government has taken proactive steps. The Union Minister of Home Affairs has set up a committee led by the Additional Director General of the Border Security Force. This committee will closely monitor the situation along the Indo-Bangladesh border to prevent the rise of criminal activities. Additionally, when Professor Muhammad Yunus was sworn in as the head of the interim government in Bangladesh, Prime Minister Narendra Modi extended his best wishes. He also urged Yunus to ensure the safety and protection of Hindus and other minority communities who have faced attacks in the recent political changes in Bangladesh. This highlights India's concern for the well-being of Hindus in Bangladesh. The economic ties between India and Bangladesh form a crucial aspect of the subcontinent's economic landscape. Bangladesh stands as India's most significant partner in the region, while India ranks as Bangladesh's second largest partner in Asia, following China. The total bilateral trade reached an impressive $13 billion in the financial year 23-24, according to the Union Minister of Commerce. Bangladesh is a vital export destination for India, especially for its cotton. In the financial year 23-24, Bangladesh accounted for 34.9% of India's total cotton exports, valued at approximately $2.4 billion. Besides cotton, India exports petroleum products and cereals in substantial quantities to Bangladesh. Conversely, India imports ready-made garments from Bangladesh amounting to $391 billion in financial year 24. Bangladesh has become a major global hub for textiles, contributing significantly to this sector. In 2013, during a meeting of the Joint Working Group on Trade in Dhaka, India and Bangladesh initiated discussions on a potential free trade agreement. Such an agreement will aim to reduce or eliminate custom duties on goods traded between both the nations. Since 2016, India has extended 3 lines of credit to Bangladesh, totaling $8 billion. This financial support is aimed at developing Bangladesh's road, rail, shipping, and port infrastructure. In November 2023, 2 significant projects were inaugurated: the Akhaura-Agartala cross-border rail link and the Khulna-Mongla port rail line. These projects are expected to strengthen connectivity and economic integration between the two countries. The Akhaura-Agartala link, the 6th cross-border rail line between India and Bangladesh, has notably reduced the travel time between Agartala and Kolkata from 31 hours to just 10 hours. This development is expected to boost tourism and trade and foster closer ties between the two nations. The stability of India-Bangladesh relations is crucial for India, particularly regarding its access to northeastern region. This area is connected to mainland India through the narrow Chicken Neck corridor between West Bengal and Assam. Any disruption in ties could restrict India's access to this region, affecting global trade and logistics. According to the Confederation of Indian Textile Industries, the Indian companies with manufacturing operations in Bangladesh could face challenges in maintaining their production flow if there are disruptions in bilateral relations. This could lead to delays and potential shortages in the market, forcing companies to explore alternative manufacturing solutions to mitigate the impact. In the face of potential disruptions, the Indian textile hub of Tirupur could emerge as the key beneficiary. Known for its robust textile and apparel manufacturing capabilities, Tirupur might capitalize on shifts in production dynamics, reinforcing its position in the global textile market.